Yes.
Episode 95.
95.
Coming at ya. Oh no, I need my transport panel.
Transport panel?
I know,
Sounds
really fancy.
It sounds like Star Trek.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a sneak peek into this week's episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Messy Bun Girls. I'm Lauren. I'm your ginger host.
And I'm Jocelyn, your blonde host, and we've created this podcast as a source of encouragement and love to all you mamas out there.
We hope that this is a place where you will find grace and laughter in our messy bun lives.
Yes.
Great start.
They're messy. I was just thinking of all the messiness in my house right now, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Right
so
now,
messy.
I just had to clean up like a whole bunch of crumbs and like be like, please don't leave this food out for the dog just to eat. So whatever you've got going on, I'm sure that we can relate with all the randomness that's happening. We're like kind of huddled down in my basement right now.
It's freezing. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy us a heater because it's cold down here.
Heater.
Okay,
I have a heater.
We should probably turn that down
next time. Next time.
I'm in my jacket and about to put on a hat and a scarf.
So this week's episode actually was inspired by a listener who's just sent us in a question asking, she pretty much asked, how do you entertain a newborn? And I think we got confused by the question. And like just the word entertain, like they don't, I don't know. I don't know.
You look at it. You smile.
Change it.
Hello.
I don't know. We don't, isn't it asleep? Like we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then it made us just think about the newborn days, and I had to remember, like, they were very hard for me. So so it's not necessarily an episode about how to entertain your newborn. It's more about just the newborn days in general.
Yeah.
So this question was sent in several months ago, so I don't think you have a newborn anymore.
Sorry about your luck.
Our bad on that. But either way, here goes nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't have as hard of a time with my newborns as you did, it seems. Like, well, I don't know. I think...
I can't say... I mean, I'm not about to take the cake for having the worst newborn experience. Like,
no, I'm sure.
That's not at all what happened, but I don't want to do it again. Like, like, when I think about having another child, like that's the thing that makes me go, I don't want to do that. Like I would be pregnant again. I would go through labor again. I just feel like I was so exhausted and I didn't know what to do. It was better the second time around, but man, I didn't enjoy it very much.
Yeah, with Stina, I think the hardest part for me was just the pain from having a C-section. But other than that, I think other than surviving serious surgery and then having to feed a child.
That's a good way to think about it. Like C-sections are very normal. They're very safe.
Major surgery.
It is major. They cut your body in half.
Take out your organs. And then they take out the
but
baby, and then they stuff them back in, like, whatever goes where it goes. It just goes here.
It goes in this area.
No, it went over here, and now it's over here, and that doesn't feel right.
Your body's amazing because it figured itself out. I mean,
it does take about a year for my body to be like, and now we're back to
But your organs were floating around in your stomach going, I'm lost. Can you give me directions to the...
Yes.
I mean, but
exactly.
They found it. They figured it out.
They figured it out.
Your body's amazing.
All went while caring for a newborn. But I think I didn't mind the newborn stage. I think there's a lot that goes on when you first take home a baby. First is like shock and awe. You just went through this whole thing. There is a human that you have created.
Like,
yes. But then I think you begin to realize that you and your husband may not be on the same page with everything. You know? Just in the way that you feed or change or what kinds of things are we going to agree on.
Are we going to tell us what happened?
Well, no, I think it was... So when we brought home Stina, I was like exhausted all the time, and
you had just been cut open.
I did, and so I was breastfeeding, and so it was exhausting, and I remember feeling resentful in the middle of the night because I was like, "Why are you still sleeping? Why? tell me why you get to sleep and I have to wake up. That is stupid. So I would be like stomping around, and if I'm gonna be up, you're gonna be up.
There was another choice you could have made.
Yeah, there was. But I had just had major surgery and a baby and no
so maybe
sleep.
Your brain
so
wasn't...
no, it was not in the realm of being sane. And so I think it took us a little bit of time to have some conversations about what it's going to look like. And I mean, in our family, what we decided was, Jason works and he has to do that, and he has to have his brain fully functional at work. So he needs sleep. Where sadly enough, I'm at home and I can rest.
Well,
really.
But also, this is your job.
Yes.
It's just like really bad hours.
It's
just like nobody's paying you, and it's just like the hours suck.
It is my job and really bad hours. I totally agree with that. And so once you have to realize that is what it is, then there was like, I see. You make all of the money. I can't do this, and I need your money. So as long as I need your money, yep, that was
and
what
of course,
it was.
Of course, there are so many different ways to do all of the things. We're just kind of sharing the way we did it.
Yeah. Well, and in a newborn phase, most women are at home during a newborn phase. So whether or not you work inside the home, outside of the home, I know that it's going to be different when you are.
But I even remember being like,
parent.
this won't change my life this much.
Oh, yeah, it's funny.
Isn't it? Like, I even remember being like, I only have a part-time job.
Yeah.
I can do all of this.
Yeah.
I didn't even have childcare lined up when I came back to work.
I remember.
And I just remember being like, this is fun. This is how this is done. And it was not. I was just like, I remember. This is a problem.
I remember coming into work and being like,
why is your baby here?
Yeah. A little bit.
It's because isn't this what happened?
No, not when you're that old. Yeah, it's hard though. To figure that stuff out. It's tough. So I think that there was a few things that were really bad. I think breastfeeding was really hard for me. Yeah. That was like,
we've said this before. It does hurt.
They're cut. They're bleeding. They're sore.
Listen to people.
Don't touch them. Don't touch them ever.
These
don't brush up against them.
Oh
don't look at them.
Yes.
Don't be near them.
Right
I know.
Stop bringing me the baby.
Bad.
Somebody else put a pacifier in, plug it up. Stop bringing me the baby. She cannot possibly be still hungry.
Yes.
But she's crying. Do something else with her. I have nothing left.
Yes, it's empty. This tank is empty.
And it did, for me, it hurt. It hurt for several weeks.
Yes.
And I remember going to the lactation consultant kind of being like, what? It's not supposed to hurt, right? And they were like, oh, no, it will. And I was just like,
that's new information. Like, how is this new information?
You told me it wouldn't hurt. It's not supposed to hurt. And then it hurt. Then I thought, well, on my second child, this won't hurt at all because I totally figured it out. No, it hurt again.
Yes, they forgot. Weeks. They forgot what they were supposed to do.
How that worked. But then I was blessed to not have such a struggle. So once I got through that pain, it was fine, and I didn't struggle with that again.
Yeah.
My struggle was more like I would be sobbing in the middle of the night because I was just so tired. But I can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep because this human. So she would sleep in the bassinet next to our bed, so beside me, and then because I just wouldn't wanted to like pick her up and feed her and put her down. For the first several weeks or whatever before we moved her into her bed or whatever. And I remember just like one night I was just crying because your mommy spidey senses are just so there that like she would like snortle or like or whatever baby noises you make, and I'd be wide awake. And then between that and Mark snoring, he wakes up to me just sobbing, and it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it, or just constantly staring at your baby. Are you breathing? Are you breathing? Like just, I don't know that mommyhood has gotten easier
I'm
out
sure.
of the newborn
I'm
phase.
sure it hasn't.
I feel like it kind of goes, like, if this was a graph, like, this would go from, like, down left to up, you know, it would be, like, on an upward trend, and the other things would be on a downward trend. Like, the amount of worry that I have, is the same. It's just about new things now.
Absolutely.
It's just about completely new things now.
Yes. Yes. Now I'm worried about the size of my daughter's boobs. And I'm like, what is happening? What? Stop wearing my bras.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
It's new worries in our house.
That is not a worry that I currently have.
You will.
Oh.
Just wait.
I will wait.
I know.
But I just... No, I feel like people are like, the newborn stage is so easy because they sleep all the time. What if they don't? What if they're not asleep? She's not sleeping now. What am I supposed to do? Which is probably where this question came from.
Yeah.
And of course there are all sorts of gadgets and things that you can do. You can get the swing, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
But you're also trying to figure out and feel out this whole this new mommy thing. And I kind of remember feeling like, well, I can't just put her in the swing. Like, I'm the mom.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's where baby wearing became great. Because she's like, well, honey, I can't keep holding you.
Yes.
Somebody has to do the dishes.
Yeah.
And by the time Violet came around, I had kind of figured that out. And then, you know, we had David too. But, like, I just kind of remember being like, well, I guess we'll lie here and watch. Oh my gosh, we binge watched Mythbusters together, David and I. We absolutely did. I recommend it. It was
when he was a newborn.
When he was a newborn, because I remember being like, well, he's sleeping most of the time. I can't leave the house. There's not enough. Like, I would be like, he'd be asleep. I'd be packing up our bag, like, so that the moment he woke up, we could, like, go to the grocery store.
Oh.
And I just felt kind of like I have to be at home for him to sleep for the longest time, or like hostage in my house to nap time.
Yeah.
Which after a while,
I was the opposite.
I know you were, and I was like, "How are you doing this? How did you?"
You throw them in the car, and then you put them. Well, not throw them in the seat. Buckle them in safely, and then safely put them in the car and responsibly buckle them in, and then you go wherever the crap you need to go, and they will sleep. Or they will do whatever, and then you throw your cover over you if they need to feed. Like, I loved rocked the newborn stage and infant stage.
That took me a while to figure out.
Well, I think it's hard. I didn't find it hard because I was like, you joined my family. I'm gotta go someplace, so we're gonna go.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. You're not gonna stop. Like, we would still be at friends' houses at like 10:30 at night.
Yeah,
and it would be like, they're just gonna sleep.
That is a page we took out of your book.
Yeah.
Like, I was like...
They're going to sleep.
And until this becomes... I remember when Stina had school nights and all of a sudden you weren't staying. And I was like,
so
what
stupid.
is wrong with you?
I know.
But now I get it.
Blah.
Like, but for the first, like, 5 years, you just would be out. And I would... And, like, I had other friends who were like, 7:30, we got to peace out. And I was just like, oh, okay. You know, like... But I that was something we did take out of, you know, like, they you could put them down and they would sleep there. But I feel like it took me a little bit longer to get there. Mm-hmm. Because also, I didn't always want to be out while they were sleeping. I wanted to relax in their nap time, or I had some things to do. So it took me a while to figure out how to use my time efficiently. And by the way, this whole sleep when the baby sleeps thing is horse manure.
Yes.
It is. It's not...
Stinky.
I don't...
Doesn't work.
Okay, like...
all the time.
I mean, the baby sleeping in the car. Can't go to sleep there.
Yeah.
You know, like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that unless somebody else is there doing all the things so that I can go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm sure back in the day, people did that.
Yeah.
It is not a thing now.
Well, last season, we had a postpartum doula on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Go check that one out.
I would highly recommend, if this newborn stage is something that you are totally freaking out about, look into getting a postpartum doula, because they will come and help and walk you through things. And this is not like a first-time mom type of thing. They come because of anybody.
And we were also talking. We also had like I can't remember how many episodes how many different ones, but like there was the postpartum doula, and then there were the people that were just talking about postpartum depression.
Yes.
And like
Real
the
thing.
groups and the things that you can get involved with in that, and like the help that you can find online now that didn't used to be there. So go back and check out those episodes as well.
Yes. One thing I remember about the newborn stage was those baby socks and how incredibly infuriating they were. Like how
also the mittens?
Stupid. Like how stupid are baby socks?
They're
just
very stupid.
Put them in a sleeper. Like don't put on baby socks.
I didn't change David's clothes. Like I would be like, you woke up in this, let's change your diaper, and you're now awake in the thing you slept in. Like I don't care. Who cares? There would be times people had given us so much clothes, so many like I would change him into that outfit, take a picture just to be like he wore it.
Yay!
Because you also don't need that many clothes.
No, you do not.
Need
that many clothes.
Let's not create more laundry.
Yes,
exactly. But like, yeah, those baby socks are stupid. But I also never used like the mitten things to keep them from scratching themselves.
Yeah, so I used the mittens a little bit when they were like really, really little, but then I would just like try and clip their nails and keep their nails like filed down. So I remember one time I was clipping, I can't remember which daughter. I was clipping one of their nails and I clipped their skin instead of their nail, and they were bleeding.
She didn't even know.
Like, she didn't even know.
Like, cool.
And she didn't. Like, I don't even think she cried. Like she didn't even know.
Because you were like,
but I knew. It was the first time she was bleeding, and I was like,
you did it.
But then I found out that it was so much easier to clip her nails with the clippers flipped upside down.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I had not ever done it. I was clipping with, like, the solid point underneath her fingernails, but instead to flip it around so, like, the movable part is going where their skin is near, it was so much easier. And I was like, that would have been a good tip, like, a week ago before I made my child bleed all over. But, yeah, those mittens are dumb. But clipping fingernails is also really scary and hard. So,
I don't know. I guess maybe I'd like to hear other people and like what they struggled with. I love sleep. I love sleeping so much. And I feel like I got to the point now where the kids actually go to bed and we do sleep, but I still don't get good sleep. So I've never recovered from that. I don't know why or what's happening. I'm gonna work on it. But it's like we're still there in the newborn phase. I'm just gonna be awake now.
I'm sure it's better.
It is better. I'm sure
because I do think the level of like nighttime worry is lower. Like,
yes.
I think we never slept with the kids in our room. Like, Stina maybe got 2 days in our room, and her, like, noises, I was like, get out! Get out now! You are gone. And so, like, we banished her to her bedroom, like, real young.
Yeah.
She was less than a week old, and I was like, you're fine. Get, go. But then I would wake up, I would feed, I would put her back down, and I would go back to bed. Like, for me, that's what worked. I needed to be apart. You needed to cry loud enough that you were going to wake me up, because
that's
then,
not a bad idea.
Then I knew that you were serious. Then I know that you're serious. Otherwise, you're just going to roll over and I'm going to wake up and think you need something when you're actually just rolling over. Anything. So, I don't know. That was what worked for us.
Yeah. No, that was probably not a bad way to go.
I say that now, just 7 years too late.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have used that, I think, maybe. But I also was just like, but I'm the mom. And
yes.
But it got to the point where even I would wake up and we would have a feed. Or David never, oh my gosh. David would wake up and he would always have a dirty diaper. I would change his diaper. I'd feed him, and then always he would have dirty diaper again. So I have to change him again. I've just gotten you to go back to sleep. You were just sleeping. Now I gotta wake you up and make you cold again. And it never failed.
Yes.
I could not figure that out. But I would sit there and do work at 2 or 3 in the morning. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
If I have to be awake, I may as well do some work. I was reading books. I was like,
I never woke up that much.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't up for more than
awake.
a half hour, maybe 25 minutes, and
rise
and like
shine.
the dark. It was
Nope.
dark room. We were rocking, and now you're done.
Nope. I was awake. Like
That's
I was in BSF at the time. And
which
we
is
would
Bible
have-
study fellowship.
Yeah, we would have daily homework.
Mhm,
And it was,
I remember
and,
it was
and
intense.
it was intense daily homework. And at 3 a.m, I would just do every day's homework. I would do my reading. I would do, like, I'd be up for a half hour, 45 minutes. But that was when we got the feeding down to 1, maybe 1 time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there were some days where it's just like, we would feed 3 times a night.
Oh,
It was, I'm
God love
telling
you.
you,
Holy cow!
newborn phase is very hard.
It is hard.
Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have a different experience. You're
Yeah.
gonna be a different mama. All your kids are gonna be different from
Yeah.
anybody else's kids. I cannot tell you
Mhm.
how to do it.
No.
I can just say I understand. I know
Yeah.
it's so hard.
I know. I think one thing that did help us with sleeping is in our minds we thought, well, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock should be a bedtime. But for us and like our newborn,
Yeah.
like we pushed that to like 11. So like if 11 o'clock, if you went to bed at 11
Yeah.
o'clock, then I would go to bed with you and we would get no 2 a.m., 3 a.m. feeding.
Uh-huh.
I would make it to 4 or 5. And then it felt like
Because you
I
probably
was
fed
getting
her
a full
at
night's
11.
sleep. Yes.
So
So that was
I'm
what
telling you
worked
what,
for us.
this was shocking. It's just like they're sleeping like maybe 5 hours or 4 hours, and the doctor's going, "Yeah, that's technically sleeping through the night."
Mhm.
In
what
what
country?
world
Yes.
is 4 hours sleeping through the night?
It's not.
So that's why you stay up until 11 o'clock or midnight.
Yeah.
So you can get a 4-hour chunk,
Yes.
breastfeed again, or just feed them again, and then maybe they sleep until
Mhm.
8.
Yeah.
I don't.
The
I have
hardest
no
nights were like
idea.
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Those are that was
When they
by
just
far the
wouldn't go to
worst.
sleep.
When they just wouldn't go to sleep, and then you're like,
Good night.
Mm.
Yeah. And you're just up.
I
Yeah.
felt like that was a depressing episode.
So, in other words,
if you have a baby, we don't know what we're talking about.
Godspeed to you.
I hope you can sleep and feed and stand upright after whatever birthing experience you went through. And husbands, don't look at your wives. And
Oh gosh.
it's a beautiful phase, and I'd go through it all again.
I know you would.
I know, I
know.
would. I would do it again in a heartbeat. So
I'm excited for the next phases, and I still find myself. You were saying in the last episode, like we wish our kids were little, and I kind of go, no, I don't. I also, I've spent more time going. I remember one day I looked at you and I said, I just want him to be able to talk to me and tell me what he needs, and you laughed in my face.
Yeah.
You don't want.
no, you don't.
You don't want them to talk. You don't
no,
want them
you
to
don't.
But
No,
I
you
find
don't.
myself going, I cannot wait for you guys to be independent enough to do X, Y, Z by yourself.
Yes.
And then I have to kind of catch myself and be like, no, I really should try and enjoy.
Well, and I think
there's something about every phase that I've been like, I do not know that I love being a mom.
there is. Yes.
And I think that's very normal.
It is. It is. I mean, the phase that we're in right now is we have, our kids can choose to stay home, and we'll go run an errand, or we'll go and do something, and they're staying home, and part of that is really super nice because we can kind of be gone for a few hours and do whatever we want. But part of that is like, that was kind of our family time to like do stuff together, and now you're choosing to not run errands, And so I think there's just
you gotta find a new time.
These times are changing.
Did you like my mom villain?
I do. That was great. That was great.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for listening today. As always, we'd love to hear from you at our
wherever you find out. You found us.
The things. Yes. messybungirls.com or themessybungirls@gmail.com.
Don't forget to like us, hit that subscribe button, find us in all of the platforms that we are tech savvy enough to have gotten on.
Yes.
And I mean,
Patreon.
we are, and on Patreon, right?
And Patreon.
Because you can support us there.
You can.
Because we are making a book,
We
guys.
are.
All right.
So
Next
excited.
week?
Yes.
Bye.
See ya.